We're live. Yay!
Yay!
Super excited. It is Monday evening. For some reason, I'm super energized. We have our next guest. We have Miss Jackie Lee coming with us tonight from the Canary Islands. And I was just thanking her so much for staying up so late to be with us tonight. It is 12 o'clock a.m. her time. Um, Jackie, if you want to take a moment and share it to your Facebook, you can. And I'll do a brief introduction, then I'll pass it on to you. You can tell everyone about your business and what you do. So Jackie, she blew my mind during our pre-interview. I was super interested in the fact that she's running two businesses. That always excites me when you have small business owners that are running two different, establishments, and they're two completely different businesses, but they also sync together somewhat. So her first business, she does weddings, she marries people off. And I think that's amazing just because, during this time, just, celebrating family, love, and all that good stuff is just awesome. And her second business is the fairy godmother business for women over 40 years old. And I super love the idea. And I'm not going to steal her thunder, but basically, she is targeting that audience. And I think is great because what I love about business is it's a little bit of something for everybody. So Jackie is definitely that business owner that I felt was super diverse. So without further ado, I will let her introduce herself and tell you all what she does. And again, thank you from Canary Islands.
No problem. Thank you, Deborah, for inviting me on here tonight. Yes, it is midnight, but not a problem. Basically, I have lived here in Lanzarote in the Canary Islands, which is 60 miles off the coast of Africa, but we come under Spain. And I've lived here for 16 years. I've been a wedding celebrant here for 13 years. So as Deborah said, what I do is organise wedding blessings, commitment services, renewal of vows, and I write and take a very personalised service. And I absolutely adore my job. It's great. But of course, due to the situation,
Yes.
COVID, I thought I would diversify a little bit and I would build another business which would be online and worldwide. So, because obviously my wedding business has to be in Lanzarote, but this new business, the Jackie Lee, your fairy godmother, is online and worldwide. So that enabled me then to connect with so many lovely people, including Deborah herself, because I probably wouldn't have met you had it been just for the weddings. It was just that obviously we met on a Facebook connection, shall we say, and I just thought, yeah, we got on great, and then obviously you invited me on this beautiful podcast, so there we are. Here I am, folks.
Yes, and I was super impressed with your business. So, I'm always thinking about my parents mean the world to me. So when you were women over 40, it was the first thing that came to my mind. I'm still trying to get my mom to step out a little bit into the Facebook social media world. So I guess that's a great question to start with, right? So for people who are over 40, obviously, if they're watching this, they're on Facebook. But what about, people who are hey, I know someone that would benefit from this business, but they're not really big on social media. How can we get them, lure them into what you have to offer?
Well, we are a secret group. So what I've said to quite a few people is who are not, shall we say, scrollers, in the sense of, just living totally on social media and having posts for business like we do on social media. I've sort of said to a couple of ladies, you don't need to put a profile picture up. You just need to create an account. And then basically you need to add me, only me, as a friend. And I have one of the ladies in the group that actually has done that. She hasn't even added her kids or her husband. She just added me. And then I've added her into the group, which is a private secret group, so no one can find it. So they feel safe in this group, is what I'm saying. It is a Facebook group, yes, but it is safe. So basically they can just tune in at 2 o'clock every day in the afternoon. That's a UK time, actually. But also they can catch it on replay because we have some Australians catching it at late at night. We have some Europeans catching it an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours behind that time or in front of that time. And then we have the US, obviously, catching it early in the morning, or like we're doing now, sort of on a later time when they catch on replay. Because like you, it's sort of 7 o'clock there. So you would have, like, ladies and gentlemen, would have come home from work, they would have had some tea, and then the lady can go on her Facebook and just catch up on what we've done in the Fairy Godmother program today. Today actually was about goal setting for the month
Ooh.
of November, because I think it's important. New month, clean slate,
Yes.
start again. Go for it. Get that decorating done before Christmas comes. Get that decluttering done. Get onto it, and then a little bit of self-care as well. All nice sort of topics that us ladies like to be involved in, don't we?
Yes, yes, yes. I love all things decorating, all things like holiday-ish, self-care. Self-care has been huge for the past couple of months for me. And I think, like, we keep bringing this up, and I hear myself repeating myself, COVID, but it plays such a big role in our businesses and what we're doing in our personal life. And I think that self-care touch is amazing. So
Yes.
yeah. So I titled this particular show Be All You Can Be, because I remember when you were telling me about your business, you were like, I want the women that I'm targeting to step out of their comfort zone and try new things. So how have you been motivating them to step into something different, stepping outside of their comfort zone?
Well, back to the self-care bit, we've had like kinesiologists, reflexologists, acupuncturists, sleep therapists, body coaches,
Ooh,
dream coaches, all of these guest experts coming in to teach us something new. Now, obviously, like some of those therapies, were normally hands-on, like kinesiology, acupuncture, and all this sort of thing. But obviously, you can use your hand, and you can press certain parts on your hand for acupuncture. And the same with kinesiology, you can do different things on your hand, or on your body, temples, and all sorts of different things that these
nice.
experts can take you through to give you that sort of just like a little time for yourself, shall we say.
Right, right.
You need that self-care, and especially with what's going on in the world, you need to build your mindset up as well, in the sense of trying to sort of get our head around what is happening in the world, and knowing that we can't really do much about the whole thing, but we can take care of ourselves, and we can obviously communicate with our family, keeping that
Yes.
sort of connection going and everything like that, and just having that little bit of, say, technology to be able to talk to you in America, you're at, a completely different continent, etc. It's just wonderful. And during lockdown, obviously, that was what kept us all going, wasn't it, really, to be able to communicate with our family,
Yes.
So
I agree. And for nesters, right? I hope I'm using the correct term. Nesters,
yeah,
all the children out of the house, and now people are trying to seek their new identity after all their children have left home.
yeah.
I think this is also a great group to start that engine.
It is, because I think we all come to as ladies, we obviously get boyfriends, then we get married, and then we have children. Well, not everybody does, but most people have children, and we tend to sort of fall down the ladder a little bit because we put our children first and this sort of thing. And then there's a time in our life where it's sort of like the children have grown up that bit and gone to college, or whatever, and it's like, what about me? What about my life? What am I doing with my life? And that's where now they can sort of join something like this to
Yeah.
gain access, and maybe learn something they might want to do, further, like a creative project that starts off as a bit of fun, and then think, I could do this, I could make, a little business out of this, or, I've learned a new language, or I've learned, more about myself, more confidence, more motivation to do something more and go out there, and a bit of a go-getter aspect, whereas they might have lost their confidence a little bit while everything was going on, and especially with what's happening in the world as well, because that makes you want to stay in and not go out very much, sort of thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it might not be a bad thing, right? Because I'm like, hey, nothing has slowed me down to where I'm actually just like really embracing me, embracing my projects, my goals, my business, like ever before, because it was just go, 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 go. So I think this is actually, even during the mix of the chaos, it's also an opportunity to say, hey, this brings up my next point. Actually, while you were talking, you have hidden gifts and talents, find them. So
Yeah.
I feel with your program, you're showing people like, hey, you have more to offer the world. You have more inside of you. We just have to pull it out. So you mentioned, different language or different, hobby. You can actually turn that into a business and make money for it.
Absolutely, and that's actually happening with a couple of ladies, that they're actually realizing that they have got more of a talent for art. Maybe we did art at school and things like that, but now art has progressed, not from just life drawing or sort of portraits and this sort of thing. Now it's like retro art and all sorts of different things, and pouring different paints together and letting them sort of mingle, and all sorts of things that probably would never have happened in years gone by, but now it's seen on Pinterest or something like that, and you think, I'll have a go at that, and then somebody goes, I like that, are you selling it? Well, yeah, and it
yes, I am.
yeah, it's crazy, or maybe I made some bottles, sprayed them with car paint and put some shells on them, and put a light inside them. I'd never done that before. I've got a painting on my wall here that a friend of mine came round and she sort of said, we're going to do this. I said, listen, I'm no artist. I really am not, sort of thing. I can't draw a stick insect, sort of thing, and she said, look, masking tape, canvas, I'll show you what to do. 5 colours of paint, that's all you need. And we did it, and I was like, wow, I actually did that. It's like amazing. So yeah, it's showing these hidden talents and these creative aspects that you can bring into your life, maybe just for your home to begin with, and then you start to think, that could be a little business, so yeah,
that could be a thing. You just never know. Yeah.
right.
That's cool. I feel like I can relate today. A lot of little talents that I'm like, good at, and weaknesses. I've identified some of those things, and quite honestly, partnership has never been greater. I'm like, hey, I struggle at this. I need help. So
I think
cool.
that it all taught us something during lockdown. We reassessed our life, and we realised what was of value to us and what wasn't. And so we changed little aspects of it. And the ladies are having such a great time in there because, as I say, it's just a reasonable figure of I think it's €10 a month, which I think is about $17. I'm not exactly sure of the conversion rate, but it's reasonable amount of money to put in each month and enjoy it and have some fun. But also, as I say, you can buy things from the people that are selling things in there as well. It's like, oh, I could get some of my Christmas presents from these ladies. I could, say, like, assess, well, oh, that might be a little business, as we said, or I'm going to move abroad. I'm going to learn a new language. It's just giving them the empowerment to think that they are in charge of their own life and they can do whatever they want to do, really.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is definitely that. Yeah. So that's where the fairy godmother came from, you see. It's like, the fairy godmother waves a wand and your wish is my command. Well, not exactly, but
but you can assist them to make their wish their command.
I can. And also, to bring them up as well, because we all have times during this crazy world crisis, shall we say, that people go down, so I'm not saying I'm an expert on psychology or anything like that, but I'm there to talk, I'm there to to lean on, etc. And that's all some people just want, to know that somebody cares for them, and can be there. Yeah.
And that's what I get from even the name of your business. The fairy godmother gives me such a warm feel that somebody's watching over me and wants me to do great, So what life-changing moment happened when you sparked this idea, the fairy godmother business? What really drove this idea home for you?
Well, because I had the wedding business, and I'm obviously, not trapped in Lanzarote, but I only work as a wedding celebrant in Lanzarote. And I realised that I'm 66 now, and I realised that I basically wanted to do a bit of travelling. And so I thought, I need an online business. Now, I'm a great believer in the law of attraction. Ooh. So I asked the universe for a online business, and nothing happened for a 2 or 3 weeks, and then suddenly in the middle of the night I got this sort of, I can only describe it as like a download, because it was, I seemed to be told to write all these words, things like motivation, anxiety, like-minded people, friendship,
Wow.
guest experts. None of these words meant anything to me at the time, because those don't really go together, anxiety and motivation. They're
Yes.
like the opposite, you know. And then it slowly started to form a picture, like a big jigsaw, but no picture to follow. So you put little piece together, and then slowly you think, yeah, this is starting to form some sort of idea. And that was at the end of 2019. And I thought, well, I've got plenty of time. I'll just saunter along, and I'll just put a few pieces together, and then I'll get the picture. And then, of course, we went into lockdown.
Yes.
No wedding. So hence why time to build a business, time to build a website, time to build the strategy behind it, and time to launch it, something. So we launched on May the 1st, and 16 people joined straight away. And now we're over 80 people. So it's growing every day. People are, there's 5 people I know this week joining, sort of thing, straight away, because they've seen it and they liked it. So it is growing, and it's going to be a really big business. I've been asked to go on Fox TV in Florida in September next year to promote. So yeah.
That is exciting. I just love to see how, an idea turns into like an action, and now it's like your business is doubling basically over.
Yeah.
I mean, we've only been going through this for a couple months now, since Marchish, when the shutdown occurred.
Yeah.
So cool. What challenges along the way do you think for aspiring entrepreneurs? So we're kind of taking a shift here. For people who want to be an entrepreneur, what would you say was one of your challenges that you faced, and how did you overcome that when starting this business?
Some of the challenges I thought was, how am I going to market it? Because obviously you market organically to begin with your friends and family and this sort of thing. Hope it will spread throughout that. But then I just knew quite a few business people, so I ran it past them, and they said they would start spreading the word as well. I did a few podcasts with some friends as well, and I'm on quite a few business sites and things like that, and they thought it was a cool idea, so they wanted to join. So those were the challenges at the beginning, were just getting the word out there and getting the ball rolling in spreading the word all over the world, because obviously I don't have a huge amount of connections in Australia or in the US, but I now know a handful of people, and I know they're starting to spread the word, sort of thing. So that's what you need, isn't it, in business, really, to get the word out there, to see what I know there's a lot of ladies out there in the world that could do with this business, and really all I need to do is get it in front of a few of them, who will then start spreading it, like in different areas of the States, different areas of Europe, different areas of Australia, and this sort of thing. And then I started with obviously England, because I am originally from the UK, so that's where I sort of started. And I've got 13 years of past brides as well. They were all like, yeah, we'll spread the word for you, this sort of thing. So that was the challenges. But, I think you can overcome any challenge if your mindset is right, and you're doing the right thing for somebody. It's not about, yes, it is about building something quite large, yes, but it's not with the intention, it's for me. It's the intention that it's for the people out there. And I think that's your main thing, really, not about yourself. It's mindset, isn't it? It is mindset. That's a huge subject, massive subject.
Yes, it really is. I think if people just knew how powerful their minds were, and all they could do when they set their mind to a vision, just go after it. It's powerful. And you're living testimony of that. You had a business that you started in the midst of a pandemic, and it's jumped from 10 people to 80 people and continuously growing. So
yeah. It is.
Yeah.
And small businesses, I think, at the moment are, it's just a good little thing, really, isn't it? Because basically, as I say, people perhaps have lost their jobs, people have been made redundant, or they have reassessed their life during lockdown. And thought, hang on a minute, what am I doing here? I'm making a lot of money for somebody who doesn't really care that much for me and my family. So
Yes.
why don't I do something for me and my family? And then that's where I can help them in just getting their mindset right and realizing, who they're going to sell to, their ideal client or something. And then basically a little bit of strategy and a bit of help to put them on the right path and maybe direct them to, some certain coaches that can help them a little bit more on that line if necessary, and go from there really. So yeah.
You make a great point. I think that was another big wake up call, right? You're working for someone that doesn't not only may not necessarily care about you or your family, but you don't get to see your family. So
No,
why not, set your mind to feel that freedom. That's another level of freedom. So
totally. Yeah, totally.
yeah. And
The
you're
corporate world is great, but it doesn't allow you much time, with your traveling, with your, I need you to be in Miami for so and so, and you have to go, that's it,
yes,
because the big boss has spoken. Whereas if you're working for yourself, yes, you do work hard when you're working for yourself, no doubt about it, but you can take that time to go to the child's nativity play, to go to their sports day, to go to
yes.
those lovely things that they're moments that you need to treasure all the time. And when you're working for a big corporation, they're not interested in whether your child's got
No.
interesting play or not.
Absolutely not. That is the last thing on their plate.
It is, yeah.
Awesome.
Have to
So
make.
with
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
I was going to say it's just all about making money for the company. That's
Yeah,
it. Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
I truly agree. So as you've been working with your clients over the past several months, how would you say that you've greatly impacted their lives? What is the thing that keeps you going? What's your why? I know your why for why you started. What's your why for keeping you going?
The why really is to build this huge platform that will be like a legacy to leave, because obviously it'll have
That's
impacted so
beautiful.
many lives throughout the time. I've no idea, obviously, how long I'm going to live for, but basically, to have this sort of like platform that it's helped so many women all over the world
It's
to achieve
beautiful.
different things in their life, and then to leave that so that the Fairy Godmother as a company can go on to create more and more happiness for people in their lives.
Oh,
Be it not me, I might just be the founder and that's it, but basically, I'll have a team by then to rally round and produce more activities and more different businesses, and to spread the word again, even beyond my lifetime, sort of thing. So like a legacy really of the
oh
fairy.
my Oh my gosh, that's so heartwarming. That is beautiful. I absolutely love that. And, best wishes to the growth of your business. Again, you're targeting a market that's not usually targeted for the most part, right? So women over 40, I feel, because they're the caretakers, they're the mothers, they're the maybe some grandmothers or aunts, and they don't really focus on themselves. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we say over 40, but we have actually got the eldest lady is 77, and
That's beautiful.
she's she's found her father's letters to her mother, and she's actually writing like a book of all these
That
letters.
is mind blowing. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
and she said she probably wouldn't have done it had it not been for the encouragement, if you see what I mean. Because I've always said, like, there's a book inside all of us. We could write a book, couldn't we? Sort of thing, And she didn't obviously think that was going to be her. And then she found these letters, and I said, this could be
Wow.
like a book, really, that you could leave again as a legacy to your family, because they won't know what it was like in your father's day, or how big
Absolutely.
your and this sort of thing. So it's incredible how so many books are actually going to come about. There's about 5 at the moment writing a book, 5 ladies writing their different memoirs or a romance, or all sorts of different things. So it's beautiful, really, really lovely that they will leave those again for their children and grandchildren.
That's beautiful. That's so touching. So what event or program are you running right now that's kind of like spearheading your business? You mentioned that you were doing like a boot camp right now.
It's not really. I'm building one thing I'm going to be doing is building a course which is on creating a vision book, because I feel that a lot of people, they don't really know where to start. You know, they sort of they've got like a little list of places they want to go to, and they've got a bit of decorating in the house, or maybe they want to eventually move house, this sort of thing. But I've always believed with the law of attraction that you can bring into your life anything and everything that you want, and that you deserve it in a good way, not like sort of, just willingly all sorts of different things that you don't really need, but true things that will enhance your life and your family's life. And I think that's great. So we're building this vision course, which will be launched mid-December, hopefully.
Awesome.
And that will be available through the Fairy Godmother program, but it will be a separate purchase, if you see what I mean, and it will be available outside the Fairy Godmother program as well, because I just want to, again, impact it on a lot of ladies, but it could be some men who buy that as well. You know, the Fairy Godmother is just for ladies, because it sounds a bit sexist, but the thing is, I know how ladies work. You know, I'm not really too sure how men work
And how they think and how they operate and what,
So I did think that maybe in the future there might be a fairy godfather, but I'm not
That
sure.
would be cool. Sounds like you have a 5-year scalable plan.
I do. That's it, definitely. So
yeah, that's cool.
Lots of things for the future. I've planned, sort of thing, which take a bit of time, don't they, to come into force. You can't do everything at once.
Exactly.
But I do feel that it's all going to connect together in some way. It is already starting to connect, and I do feel that will be the future plan of connecting more people together in different ways.
That's beautiful. I love it. I'm excited to see it grow. That's cool. I'll be cheering you on from the sidelines.
Absolutely. Cool. We'll stay in touch and then see how it goes.
Yes. So, well, I'm so glad that you were able to come on the show today. Is there anything that you would like to tell anyone that's sitting in your shoes? It's like, hey, I want to be a business owner, but I'm kind of afraid to step out on faith. What kind of advice do you have for them?
Well, I'd like to say, ladies, if you are perhaps a little lonely at the moment, needing confidence, needing motivation, inspiration, then it's a great group for you to join. But also, if you have a small business, then opportunity to share your wares, your product, your service, etc. with someone. And then if you're thinking when you're in the group that there is a possibility of you creating a small business for yourself, then reach out and we will give you all the advice we can to create that little business for you, to bring pleasure into your life and obviously into your family's life as well.
That is amazing. I just love when people are just wanting to genuinely help people. So, Jackie, I appreciate what you're doing for the world, what you're doing with your business. I'm so glad that you were a guest on this show, and I could say, hey, when you're on Fox News next year, I'm like, man, she was on the show. Hopefully you get a customer or two or some customers from this show, and let me know about that, please. Do not hesitate to reach out to Miss Jackie. Okay,
she's please, ladies. Yeah,
so easy to talk to.
Yeah, just ask, and we will. As I say, I'll wave my wand, and I'll give you as much attention or detail as you need.
I love that. I love that. So if you want to be all you can be, you're feeling lonely, you need motivation, you want a connection group, please reach out to Ms. Jackie Lee to get into her private Facebook party. I'm gonna say party, Facebook party, Facebook page. And, just connect with like-minded people during this time, and you'll be surprised at what you have inside of you. So, again,
I'm on all the social media platforms as well. So that, sometimes if they want to connect in a different way, then that's fine as well. So, we can take it from there. Yeah. But why not try it? That's what I always say is like, it's not a contract for you to be in the group. So try it for a couple of months, see if you like it. If you don't, then don't worry, you can leave, sort of thing. But I think you'll like it, and I think you'll enjoy staying, ladies.
It's like one of those things. Once you're in, you're in. You just have to get in, and then it'll have so many benefits.
Well, friends, don't you? That's the thing. I mean, they are virtual friends, but you know, when I go live, you know, on a 2 o'clock sort of slot, etc., it's like, you know, so many ladies saying hello to each other and just, you know, interacting there, because we have this social world now that
Yes.
we are part of. Like, I've never met you before in like, we've spoken on Messenger, but you know, we only had the one call before, and now I feel like I know you a little bit. And
I
you know,
know.
it's great, you know, just like, thousands of miles away that we are apart.
Yes. And I
How
love how like-minded people just merge together. You can't keep like-minded people apart.
you can't. And often I say to people, I don't know if you believe in the law of attraction. They go, oh, yes. And I think, yes, here we are. You've joined us all together again. You know, it's fantastic. So, yeah.
Yes. So I'm super excited for you. I'm super excited for your growth, for your business. You're doing amazing things, and just keep up the great work. And thank you again for staying up to almost 1 o'clock in the morning now
Oh,
for
don't worry.
this interview. I'm so appreciated. I'll make sure your website and all that good jazz is attached to this video so people can reach out to you. But other than that, thank you again, guys, for listening to Small Business Solutions Monday. And please tune in next week. We're talking about all things business, giving advice to aspiring entrepreneurs, and also supporting other business owners. So the fairy godmother, Miss Jackie, please reach out to
Thank you,
her.
Deborah, so much. Thank you, ladies, for listening in. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.